Hi everyone, it's Gabi here from Create Your Future. I am a master NLP practitioner, an EFT coach, and a law of assumption coach here on Create Your Future. And I am here deep into the law of assumption to figure out how to make it work for you. We are still giving away a free course on how to identify and get rid of your blocks. That is in the description box below. And I am currently running a sale on all of my courses and my meditations. That is $50 off. The coupon code is Gabi50 GYM for Get Your Manifestation. So that applies to all of my courses as well as my Limitless Love SP meditation. Let me tell you, I've had plenty of clients that have had success with that Limitless Love SP meditation. In that meditation, I take you into the alpha state, and we really explore together exactly what you're looking for in your ideal relationship and your ideal SP. During that exploration, you make the choices within that alpha state to bring into your 3D exactly what you desire. Many of my clients have reunited with their SPs, have brought in brand new love, new SPs, and have even strengthened their relationships with their current SPs. So go ahead and check that out. Also, if you're looking for some more individualized one-on-one support, I am available for coaching. You can find that in the description box below as well. Okay, so this week's video is going to be a lot. We are going to dive in together to talk about the truth behind parallel realities, states, and versions. And then I'm going to share a little bit of a client success story specifically around this. So first, let's dig in, okay? I do have some notes, so I do apologize. I am going to be reading some of my notes from my screen. I've kind of typed some of them up. I've also written some out. So the very first thing that we need to understand is that creation is already finished. Everything that you could possibly imagine is already created. It's already done, okay? So that's the very first thing that you have to know, okay? Now, the second thing you have to know is that your current reality, currently the reality that you're experiencing in the 3D, who you are, the version of you in your 3D right now, that is actually a version of you that was created and a reality for you that was created by your intentions and your choices of your thoughts. Let me say that again. You created the version of you now and your reality based on the choices of your intentions and your thoughts. Okay. Well, I know. Some of you are thinking, whoa, Gabi, I didn't consciously decide that I was going to be broke. I didn't consciously decide that there would be a 3P. Yes, I get you. I hear you. Okay. I have definitely had this conversation with many of my clients. Okay. Let me be very clear. You are in control of your thoughts. When you come to the law of assumption, when you find the law of assumption, more often than not, you find it because of a catalyst that has happened in your life, right? You've heard me say this before. You were faced with a non-preferred situation in your 3D, and you decided in that moment, I don't want this for me, right? In the decision of saying, I don't want this for me, you woke up. You made a conscious choice, I don't want this. So then you started researching, well, how do I get what I want, right? How do I exactly get what I want? I'm manifesting, or you're looking for techniques and you're deciding, I want something different. And in that process, you stumble upon law of assumption, okay? Now, the law of assumption is not the law of I get what I want. The law of assumption is, in other words, you get what you believe to be true for yourself. Okay, now you're probably sitting here going, whoa, okay, Gabi, hold on. I want to have $100,000 in my bank account. I want to be married. I want to have a child. I want to have my dream job. I want all of these things, and that is what I want out of the law of assumption. Let me be clear. You are going to get what you want. You just have to choose it to be real for you. Okay. So many of you are probably still sitting here going, okay, wait a minute. I'm still kind of stuck on what you told me earlier about my 3D being because of what I chose for myself. So I just want to touch on this a little bit more because I really, really, really want you to understand this. And for those of you who have a question mark right now, go ahead and comment down below with a question mark, okay? For those of you who are following along and you kind of get it, comment down below with a thumbs up, okay? All right, let's dig into this. So if you are in your 3D right now and you are watching this video and you are like, I do not like what is in my 3D, I do not like what is showing up for me, okay? You created that, but you created that probably more than likely unconsciously, meaning you didn't know at the time that choosing thoughts would result in creating what you have. Okay. Now, if you have been in the manifestation process and have been actively choosing your thoughts and utilizing techniques, and you are still not seeing your 3D change, this is why. It is because you are not choosing it to be real for you. Okay, we're going to dig in. All right. Trust me, by the end of this video, you are totally going to understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's talk about choices. When we decide, when we have a thought go through our head and we decide, I'm going to pay attention to that thought, you are making a choice that that thought is real for you. When you decide that thought is real for you, more thoughts like that thought come to you. So let's use a cloud, for instance. If you decide that you're looking at a cloud and you decide that cloud is gray, and the next thought that comes to you is, wow, that cloud is kind of dark gray. Then the next thought that comes to you is, wow, that means there could be a storm coming. It looks like storm weather. And then the next thought that comes to you is around storms, and then it rains. You created that. Does that make sense? Okay. You thought that because the cloud was gray and then it looked a little bit darker, and that to you, dark gray clouds mean storms, and then it rains, you thought that was real. Okay. Following? All right. Now, let's talk about what I said at the very beginning of our video. Creation is finished. Everything you have ever thought, you've ever dreamed up, you've ever imagined is already done. Okay. So when we choose a thought and we choose that thought to be real for us, and we say, yes, I agree with this thought. This is real. This is true for me. I agree for it. I agree with it. The other thoughts, so meaning those that you don't agree with being real or you don't agree are true for you, are parallel realities or other states of you or other versions of you, okay? Parallel realities, other states, other versions are all just the choices you didn't choose to be true for you, okay? What does this look like? This means that there are infinite versions of you. There's a version of you today who woke up and decided, I'm going to wear a black shirt. Then there's a version of you who woke up today and decided, I'm going to wear a striped shirt. Then there's a version of you who woke up and decided today that you weren't going to wear a shirt. Then there's a version of you who woke up today and decided you were going to wear a polka dot shirt. There is an infinite number of versions of you. Each version of you is a choice that you either made or didn't make. Okay. This is why you can move in and out of realities, states, and versions easily and seamlessly because it's just a choice. All it is. It's just a choice in your thoughts. Okay. First step. So we know now, and we're just going to recap, your current reality was and is created due to your choice of intention or thoughts. You are picking and choosing the intentions or thoughts that you believe to be true or real for you, which is what pushes out into your reality. Okay. The thoughts that you do not pick to be real for you, or you do not choose to be true for you, are the other versions, states, and realities of you. Okay? All right. So let's take this back to Neville. Neville has this beautiful quote. He's talking about a quote from a Bible specifically, or from the Bible specifically, where he is saying that in my Father's house, there are many rooms. Okay. And he's talking specifically about a mansion. And he says that to move into another state or mansion necessitates a change of beliefs. Okay. I want to stop right here. Beliefs are just thoughts you believe or accept to be true for you. That's all they are. Okay. Neville goes on to say, all that you could ever desire is already present. Creation is already finished and only waits to be matched by your beliefs. So creation is already finished. In order to move into another state, another version, another parallel reality, you just have to change what you believe to be true. Creation is finished. You have to change what you believe to be true. And it's just waiting for you to believe it to be true for you. That's what he means when he says it only waits to be matched by your beliefs. But it must be matched, for that is the necessary condition by which alone it can be activated, and objectified. Okay. The necessary condition. So if you believe it to be true, then it must manifest into your 3D reality to be experienced. That's it. Okay. Neville goes on to say that matching the beliefs of a state is the seeking that finds, the knocking to which it opened, the asking that receives. Okay. So again, he is just saying by accepting thoughts or choosing thoughts or intentions to be true for you, you are now making those your beliefs. In making those beliefs, you are now activating that parallel reality, state, or version to be true for you. And that now comes into your experience, your 3D reality, so that you can experience and interact with it. Okay. Now you're probably going, whoa, that's a lot of information. So let me break it down. Okay. Really quickly, I want you to close your eyes. I want to for you to imagine yourself standing in an empty room. Okay. Now imagine yourself decorating that room from scratch. Okay. Imagine what it would be to design that room, to purchase everything in that room, to place everything in that room exactly as you want it to be. Okay. All right. If you did that with me, I want you to go ahead and comment down below a door. Use the door emoji, say the word door, comment down below. Okay. Now, I want you to close your eyes again. Imagine that you walk out of that room down a long hallway and corridor full of doors. Okay. You walk down and then you decide, I want to go back to my room. So you turn around. Now, then I want you to imagine opening that door, opening the door to your room that you have designed. And when you open that door, you see that that room is already decorated to everything that you have picked out, to your specific requirements. It has every single detail in place exactly as you desired it to be. Now open your eyes. That is how you move into a different reality. You choose what is true for you. You decide that that is all that you're going to have, and then you experience it. Okay? So I want you to comment down below with a thumbs up or a smile, or say the word smile if you completed that exercise and you understand what it means to move into a parallel reality or a different state or a different version of you. That's it. just choosing what you believe to be true for you, accepting that as real, as true for you, and then you experience it in your 3D. Okay? All right. So, how, I know you're going to ask me this, you're going to be like, Gabby, that was a great exercise. I love that. I could imagine it. I could see all the details. But how do I, in my 3D, tap into the other version of me, the other state of me, the other reality where I have my desire? Well, it's simple. You consciously choose in the now moment what is real for you. You have a thought that comes in your mind of how you don't have the money to pay that bill, but you are intending that you are abundant in money, and you are intending that your bank account is always showing that you have over $5,000 in that bank account. Okay. But your 3D reality says you have a bill to pay, and your 3D bank account says you only have $50 to your name. Okay. So you choose, is that real? Am I accepting that as real for me? Or am I accepting that I am abundant? Am I accepting that money loves me, that money supports me, that money is always there for me? Am I accepting that I have more than enough to pay that bill, and I am paying that bill right now because I know I have more than enough, I am abundant, and more than that is going to come back to me 100,000 times fold? Which reality are you choosing? Okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the time delay, because that's the next question I usually get after a client asks about versions and states of being. Okay. So there is a time delay between informational creation and the actual experience in your reality. So what does that mean? That means that there is a time delay from the time that you decide and choose that something is real for you and that you are experiencing that before it actually is activated and objectified in your reality. Okay. There is a time delay. None of us can tell you how long that takes, because time delays differ based on your resistance and your stories, right? So for one person, a time delay could be a half of a millisecond. For another person, a time delay could be 10 years. It really varies, right? And again, it's around your resistance and your stories. So I have, in my own manifestation journey, chosen to move from this idea that there's a delay, and have decided to tell myself that, you know what? This isn't a delay. This is me moving from who I currently am to the version of me who already has my desire. And this is how I identity shift, or how I move into the version of me who has my desire. Okay. Now, does that mean that in the 3D, I immediately have my desire? Well, sometimes my desire shows up just like that, right? Again, it depends upon my resistance and my stories. Now, resistance and stories vary, right? Even as a coach, my resistance to certain things or my stories around certain things differs. Okay. We're all still improving. We're all still growing. We're all still learning. That's why we're sharing this with you, right? We've been there, we've done that, and we want to share our experiences with you and help you, but we're also helping ourselves, because everyone is you pushed out, right? Okay. So let's talk about resistance. Resistance is changing your identity at its core. Okay, what does that mean? Well, it means you are changing who you believe you are. Okay. Now, resistance is really a fancy word for you have a story, you have a reason why you're not getting something, right? Which is why I tell my clients, and I've told you before in videos, you ask yourself, why do I not have this already? And that first thought that pops in your mind, that's your story, that's your reason why. Okay. Now, when you start to dig into that why, and you start to say, okay, this is why I don't have this already. And you're like, okay, so now I'm going to start telling myself, no, I'm the version of me that has it already. I'm the version of me that already has it. Well, in my experience, when you are reminding yourself of who you are, when you're reminding yourself of the version of you who already has your desire, that is when your stories come up, right? Now, this doesn't mean you have to dig into anything. This doesn't mean that you're fighting yourself or you've got inner trauma or anything to heal or anything like that. Okay, that's not what this means. You are perfect, whole, and complete just as you are. You don't have to go digging for reasons or problems or create new stories. You don't have to. Okay, you don't. All you have to say is, what would I be thinking? What would I be doing? What would I be experiencing if I had my desire? If I was the version of me who already had that, what would I be doing right now? Would I even be thinking about how I don't have that? No, because you already have that, right? So that's what I mean when I say that you're changing your identity at its core. You're literally moving from the 3D reality of you now, the human self of you now. You're stepping out of that human self. You are looking at your human self from your God self, and you are saying, okay, who would I be? Who would Gabi be if she had her desire? What would she be thinking? And then you tell yourself what you'd be thinking. You tell yourself that new story. And then your God self says, ah, yes, that's true. That's exactly what you would be thinking. And then your human self agrees. And then you move the needle and you start believing those to be true for you. And what happens when you believe something to be true for you? It shows up, right? Okay. So that's just, the basics of it, right? Because you get what you believe to be true. You get who you are being, not what you want. That's how we manifest, right? We're going to end up getting what we want, but you have to be the version of you who already has it, okay? You've got to move into the new version, the new state, the new reality, okay? So we talked a little bit about, the parallel realities or the other versions or states of you are those where those other choices live, specifically the ones that you're not choosing right now to be true for you, right? It's really important for you to remember that even though they're not realized, they still live like in this informational field of the multiverse, and those possibilities are still available to you. So if moment by moment you are deciding in one moment, I have $5,000 in my account, and in the next moment you're deciding, you know what? No, I have $10,000 in my account. That's still available to you. If you believe it to be true, it will manifest. That's the law. That's the law. Okay? It will manifest. It will come into your reality. You will shift into the reality where you have that. You will become the version of you where you have that. You will move into the state of being that has that. Okay? All right. So comment down below if you get exactly where we are, if you followed along this far, if you've had an aha moment, please comment down below. Okay? All right. So you're probably sitting here wondering, okay, Gabi, you've given us a lot of information. So tell me exactly, how are people doing this? Okay. Well, I have a client that I've been working with who has been having a ton of fun with the law. Okay. She has been really testing the law. She's been doing her manifestation list of 5 things every day. She's been really successful with that. She has been testing the law for everyone as you pushed out. She has actually been intending for people to say certain things back to her. And she's also been working on her SP. Now, my client has been really great with this. She really wanted to feel confident in her power before she started manifesting things that she perceived to be big for her. So she has been really playing with the law, growing in her confidence, growing in her power and her ability to be able to intend and then manifest into her 3D very quickly. As a matter of fact, she's had things happen instantaneously. And I've shared many of her success stories already on this channel. But I'm going to share one for you that for those of you who are looking for contact with your SP, or looking at, anything to do with everyone as you pushed out specifically, this is a really great success story. So my client, the things that she really was trying, I'm emphasizing that word, she was trying to manifest into her 3D last year, was her SP wishing her a happy birthday. Okay. Now I say trying because if you've watched any of my videos, especially my videos here recently, we talk about how trying is efforting and efforting is manipulating the 3D. And you don't need to do that. Okay. Everything comes from here. Everything. Everything comes from here. You don't need to try or effort in the 3D. You don't need to do that. So we took a different approach this time. Okay. So this time, all my client did was intended that she is receiving a message from her SP on her birthday. She got a little specific about what she wanted, how she wanted to get that message. And then she just accepted it to be true for her. She just accepted it to be true for her. That's all she did. She moved into the state or version or reality where it was true for her. Whatever you want to, it's all interchangeable, whatever you want to call it. And in doing that, she manifested her SP for the first time in all the years that they've known each other, for the first time, reaching out to her for her birthday. That was huge for my client. My client saw that as a big deal. She saw that manifestation as a big deal. And, I've said this before, if you perceive something to be big or large or very important, then we oftentimes, our human selves will build up a story to that, right? Because we build up the resistance because it's a big deal. So she thought that this was a big deal. So this was huge for my client. For her to be able to move past her stories, her resistance, and accept this change in what she believed to be true for her. So she moved into the version of her that already had her desire. She moved into the version of her who was receiving contact from her SP. Okay. And she did this through her intentions. She consciously intended, chose, and accepted it to be true. And that is the truth about parallel realities, states, and versions of you. I hope that you found this helpful. I intend that you had many aha moments and that you are finding how to apply this beautifully to your own 3D and in your own manifestation journey. If you are looking for some more support or guidance, I'm more than happy to help. Please go ahead and reach out. You can book a one-on-one session with me in the description box below. Happy Thursday, and I'll see you next week. Bye.